Hello and welcome back to Factorio C Block. In episode 0, I gave a little bit of orientation and introduction into what this series is going to be and also what it's not going to be, really. And so in this episode, I'd like to just go ahead and jump in and get started. We're standing here on a rectangle of sand. We have 1,394 more sand that we can place down, which we will do, but we need to start figuring out how to make all the things we need to make. The first thing I'd like to do, though, is kind of come up here to the upper corner, and I'm just going to do it with the corner because I'm just going to do it with the corner, and put these down. Some of these wind turbines, they are our early source of electrical power. And we also need to put down a power pole. And when I was playing with this myself, I figured out that probably the easiest way to do this is just to have a group of them like this, and then just clone this. Well, we have, I don't even know how many we have, 120, I think. So clone this 20 different times. So we'll do, nope, don't do it that way though. This is why I have the bots, because they do dumb things. 3, 4, and then almost got it right. Almost. 5. There. Try that again. And we could do, and I probably will add them up above here, but we can do that 4 more rows just like that, and that should spend them all. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90. Yes, that will spend them all. I'm going to square this off just because I like it being squared off. And so the first thing we need to do in this game is crush Stiratite. Well, Angels and Bobs, especially as modified by C Block, it can be a little bit daunting to consider, which is why the game, or the mod pack rather, recommends you install FNEI and Hellmod Factory Planner, which I have installed. But we're going to look just here in the recipes and see where we have to go to crush Stiratite. We have here in this resource refining, which kind of makes sense, a recipe for Stiratite ore crushing. It's made in one of 4 different types of crushers. We're going to use the burner crusher, I think, to begin with, and then we can switch over to electric ones later. And that's going to take in Stiratite ore. And if you aren't sure where you're going to find that, actually we have to use burners because we only have burners to start with. If you're unsure where to find that, you have to look around again, or you can look around again, and you'll find out here that we have this mineralized water crystallization it takes 200 mineralized water, which we'll have to figure out how to make, and it turns that into a 55% chance of 2 saphirite ore and 70% chance of 1 Stiratite ore. So you get a bit of a combination, but you don't always get everything you want from it, which is also fine. And then we make those in a crystallizer. So that is an electrical machine. We're going to make one of those. We should probably just make one of those and one of those to start with. And then that's all we can make of those because we're out of copper. So hopefully that's all we need for right now. And then how do we get mineralized water? Ooh, that's a good question. Here it is right here. Mineralized water is 100 mineralized water made every second in a liquefier. And that's made by mixing crushed stone with water. And where do we get crushed stone from? Well, that comes out of another crusher, so we're going to need another one of those. But where do we get crushed stone from? We get that from slag. And where do we get slag from? That comes from this recipe here, dirt water electrolysis, which takes water in, rather. It makes slag, oxygen, and hydrogen. So we're going to need at least one of these. And spoiler alert, we're also going to need 2 flare stacks. I'm just going to make 2 of those right now. And that kind of spends a good chunk of the materials we started the game with. All the copper's gone. What else is gone here? Iron pipes. Oh, must not be able to make iron pipes yet. That spends a lot of stuff. We're kind of locked at this point. One other thing we need to make is an offshore pump, though. Where's that at? I saw it. Here it is, right here. In order to get the water into the factory itself. So that is pretty much everything we need, I think, to start with. And if we weren't sure, we could also go in here. Into FNEI and look up Stiratite. And we can go to the same resource refining thing here. Notice all these icons are doubled, or I guess these aren't doubled, never mind. And we want crushed Stiratite, and we want to find out how to craft it. Craft it from Stiratite ore, which we craft from mineralized water, which we craft from crushed stone and water, and we get crushed stone either from this crushing method here, or we get it from crushing slag. And here it's a byproduct of crushing the Stiratite and the Saphirite, but here it's also gotten from slag, and we get slag from water. There are, of course, other recipes here, but I'm just highlighting the ones that we need. So we're kind of locked in what we can make here, so we can just get this set up and start making all the things here. So we need this, and we need one of these. I'm going to put it over just a shade, I think. Yeah, well, I lied. I'm going to put it down here. We're going to have the bots help us, but I'm going to put it down here. And then we're going to put in some pipes, which I had to use stone pipes. We don't have any iron pipes, which is fine. As far as I can tell, there's no difference between the different types of pipes in terms of throughput or usability or even range of the undergrounds. I think they're all 11. At least all the ones you get early in the game, but I don't know about that yet for sure. So we have dirt water electrolysis. We'll take that. That'll start electrolyzing once we give it some power, which we'll run the power down here in a little bit. And then we need to vent these things, so that's why I built 2 flare stacks. And in Angels and Bobs, and especially in C Block, you end up venting or flaring or what's the third thing called? Voiding of some kind, at least. A lot of things. So we're kind of going to have to keep doing this. We're going to take a burner or crusher here. And, oh, another thing we should do, we don't have any fuel. And the only way to get fuel in the early game is to forage for driftwood. Every 4 seconds, you can find 1 driftwood. So I'm going to forage a bunch of driftwood, 100 driftwood. That is going to take, well, 400 times 100 seconds. We're just going to let it run. I just set up a whole bunch of it. We'll see how long it takes. We're going to crush slag into crushed stone. And then we need to have an inserter that does this, which I forgot about making. And also this is in the wrong spot. So we're actually going to cancel that huge wood build at some point. But we'll get these things laid out first and then go from there. The crystallizer here will take that crushed stone. No, we need to make mineralized water first. I missed a step. The other reason I have the bots is it takes actually a long time to pick up some of these buildings. So I'm kind of... did I forget a building? I think I did. Craft. This. That's the crystallizer. Liquefier. Yes, I did forget a building, so we actually do have to cancel this. There we go. I always forget what the combination is to cancel all of it. Liquefier, and then we needed a bunch of arms, inserter arms too, which are... Actually, I have to hand feed all this stuff. That's right. Okay, never mind. We'll go back up to 100 left. I had to hand feed all this stuff anyways, but I'm going to set it up as if I'm not, because reasons. So this will take in the slag, plus some water, so we need to continue this water pipe. Whoa, that's not at all what I wanted you to do. Here. Even pipes take a long time to pick up. We'll pop the slag over there, and then this will spit out mineralized water. And we take the crystallizer and feed that in here. And that's off by 1, because it's always off by 1 when I'm playing the game. Put that in there. And then this will produce the saphirite and stiratite that we can crush into crushed stiratite. The saphirite we will deal with in a little while, and then we'll have a little bit of crushed stone that we can feed back into this to help supplement the process just a little bit. Before we get started, or as we get started here, let's run some power line down this way and into here someplace. That'll work. Also, we need to come over this way. That'll work. So you are making some slag here. Just going to grab the first 3 that come out, and then I'll feed this in, as well as a few of these stone. Just a few of them. Or stone wood. We'll grab the crushed stone out of there, feed it into here. We don't have enough. I didn't want to do that either. It's fine. And then we're going to put some of that fuel in here too. I'm just going to feed that with what we got, and then I can keep feeding it in here. Let's see, you're feeding in... Still don't have enough. You produced 100. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. This. we have enough yet? Yes, we do. All right, so that'll produce our first bit of ore here, but it produced the wrong kind, because of course it did. Let's keep going. And we're also a little low on power. You can see that because of the colors that I have here on these buildings, because I didn't build all the power. And I'm going to build the rest of it off camera, because I don't think it's worth showing that particular step on camera. And unfortunately, yeah, you have to keep feeding this stuff in kind of manually, and then eventually the game will give you inserters and things like that. All right, so that gave us another, of course it did, because we need to crush Stiratite, so it gives us a whole bunch of Saphirite, because that's how the game rolls. I mean, that's just how it works. And so, regarding the wood, I recommend you basically constantly be making more, because you're gonna need it for quite a while, because the game does not give you fuel for quite a while. So yeah, so just keep making wood whenever you can think about it, and then you will be able to do things a little bit faster. How are you doing now? Finally, a Stiratite. Okay, good. But I think this takes 2. Okay. We keep going. And so this, you know, a lot of folks disparage C-Block for being an AFK simulator. And in some ways it is, because there are periods when you kind of need to let the game run to do things for you. And kind of similar to what we're doing now, but also a little bit different later in the game. But it's kind of, you know, and a lot of times a little bit of a real life simulator too, because you know this stuff is finally another Stiratite here. Good. 4 crafts wasn't too bad, I guess. And we'll feed that one in there, and it'll make us crushed Stiratite finished. Excellent. And so that kind of gets us our first basic setup here of what we can do first, which is the crushed Stiratite. The next thing we need to unlock is wood processing, and then, or actually we did already. How did we do that already? What did I make that triggered that? I don't know. But the next thing we need to make is a basic circuit board, which will give us all these other things. Maybe just because we're forging for driftwood? I'm not sure. And so we can make a basic circuit once we have the wood, which we do, and once we have some copper, which we need to actually make. So the next thing is I'm going to cancel this again. And we're going to make some of these stone filtering furnaces. I like these better than the regular default furnace that the game starts with. You can use either one you want. It doesn't really matter. The game gives you, they cost the same amount, 5 stone a piece. So the game gives you with them, and you can actually set the recipe in them. So I like them a little bit better. Let's see, I want a crusher as well, because we need to be able to crush the other ore here. And then we need to also make a couple of these furnaces. And of course I put that one in a slightly wrong spot there. There we go. I'll give you this recipe, and we'll give you a few of these. You need, yeah, that's fine. And we'll give you a recipe of iron here, because iron is made from saphirite, and copper is made from Stiratite initially. Later the answer will be a little different, but for now that is the answer. And we have 2 crushed Stiratite, so I'm going to put that in the copper machine, but guess what? We need 3. So let's come back over here and do this again. And we should have crushed, we did, the saphirite, so we can feed the saphirite in there and make an iron plate. Actually, it makes 2 iron plates, I think, right? Yeah, 2 plates for 3 crushed, which isn't too bad. There's definitely mods that are way worse. So it's not so bad. This recipe is so fast, and this one is kind of slow, and that one is also kind of slow. So the next step would be, of course, to build this out to some sort of scale, and we will do that soon. I'm going to use the even distribution to shift C. Wait, no, don't do that. Don't totally not do that. Okay. Oh, you've got one of those. Okay. You can have those. We're going to have some more wood here. Make more. And this, and then that. Okay. You can have those. You can have this. Good. You should have made everything we needed, and then you can have the crushed Stiratite and make 1 copper plate. And you can have the crushed Saphirite and make some iron plates. And then we should have a little bit of copper here anyway. 2 copper plates. Is that enough to make? Wherever it was. Here it is. 1 basic circuit. There we go. And that'll get us to where I wanted to get to today, which is kind of getting to, or through, rather, the, oh, cancel this, please. Getting through the basic stuff here. We get an achievement milestone for 23 minutes in, because, well, reasons. And the next thing we need to do is make a science pack, which means we need to have a steady supply of iron and copper, because these are made from... Anyway, we just need to make a lab. We need to make a science pack. Isn't it science packs here? We just need to make a lab first. We'll do that in the next episode, though, and then we can... I'll also have some more power built, and we'll be ready to scale this out to whatever is a reasonable scale level, and we'll use Hellmod to help us with that. So, thank you all for joining me for this initial episode, this initial vignette, and I hope it was interesting. Let me know if you have any suggestions, thoughts, comments, etc., and we'll be back in the next one to continue this build out to scale, and then following that we can start the next step in the process, which will hopefully be some more advanced technology. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.